Scrapbookers! So did you know that I was a cheerleader in the 80s? It's true, I was. Actually loved it. Mostly for the fact that I could hang out with friends and wear the cute little uniforms. But my sister and I grew up in different states, and so she and I were both cheerleaders, but for different teams. And so this layout is about how we had some shared experiences even though we grew up separately. So if you wanted to make a layout like this, I basically have, this is a diagonal, like the embellishments are in a diagonal. There's two photos in the middle, and then with something that is kind of anchoring them, an anchoring line. I've also made my own pom-poms with twine. And most of this kit is from the Jenny Bolin October, the JBS Mercantile October kit. Now what I added was the twine and the background paper and these little gray letter stickers, which are from Fancy Pants, which a lot of the kit, the Jenny Bolin kit, included Fancy Pants, so it just worked really well. I also colored the orange letter stickers that came with the kit with a Copic marker just so that they would match my uniform a little bit better. And yeah, that's the layout. Because I had to figure out something. There is these football stickers in the kit, and I was like, what am I going to do with those? So this is what I came up with, because we're not football fans. But if you want to go ahead and gather your supplies, we'll start scrapbooking. Hi Scrapbookers, so I'm back to working on this cheering layout. This is one of the originals that I kind of put together in the very beginning, and this is my sister and her friends at her school. We went to different high schools, and this is me, and so I thought it was really cute. Like, I'm not really a football fan now, and neither is she, but that the Jenny Bolin kit came with two helmets, and one was blue and one was red. So I made this little, one of my pink circles, which I made a whole bunch of. I thought that was cute. So it kind of just tells our little story there. And let's put that on just a kind of a pop dot sort of a thing. Adhesive. So I'm hoping this layout goes together, comes together kind of quickly, because I am getting slightly impatient with myself. And before I do that, I kind of think it would be great to do a little splattering on this page. Why did I think of that? But I think it would. So what I want to do is to cover up those photos. So I don't want to splatter on the photos. I just want to splatter around the photos. And hopefully I'm not going to make a huge mess. And so I want my splatter to kind of go this way up the page. And how am I going to do that? Well, let's see. Let us see. I'm not sure yet. I think I need, I got a newspaper here, that'll work. I was going to say, need a piece of scrapbook paper to put underneath, but I think I'll just put this newspaper underneath. Now I gotta rearrange this again, so that's okay. So one of the first layouts I did with this kit, I used a splatter, and I really liked it. So here's a blue color, I used that before. And this is a red color, and I'm red and she's blue, right? So let's do the blue down this way and the red up that way. I don't know how that's going to look. It might be a hot mess. Eek! I didn't plan to put that much color. And that looks almost more pink than red. Okay, instantly regretting this, but that's alright. it's okay to make mistakes. Actually, if you can make mistakes, you end up being more creative than if you don't make mistakes. So let's just see what this looks like here. But that's like a, I don't know what that is. Kind of a green color. Let's use some of this and do this little bit. The tappy thing. So the background paper did not come in the kit. It is a basic gray basics, I think. Yeah, I think this is not what I was expecting at all. I'm instantly not liking this. Hopefully it will get better. Okay, so if we lift those up and try not to splatter. Ugh, and this is an original photo. I think it is. No, it's not. It's a photo of a photo. Okay. Oh my goodness, people. Yeah, I'm not super happy with that. Now this is pretty wet right here, so I don't really want to mess with that. And okay, I think this is the photo of a photo too. Okay, I feel better about all that. They're not actual photos from the 80s. They're photos of photos, so that's better. I kind of forgot. And this is the layout where I tried to make some footballs and they came out looking atrocious. So I'm going to use those pink circles like I just showed you. So let's just put this one here because that kind of like bridges the gap between us. And I wanted to have the red on my side and the blue on her side, but it didn't work out that way because I initially had them facing apart, but I liked them facing together better, so that's what I did. And then, let's see, I really think I need to let that dry a little bit. But I was going to put some little banners in like that, just to have an anchor for those circle things. The pink circles, embellishments. Let me pause for a minute. I'm gonna just use my heating tool to this thing to dry this off, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I totally thought I was telling you all sorts of interesting things while I colored these letters in. So I colored in these orange letters that came with the kit, and so that they would match a little bit more of my uniform. And so I'm going to write cheer leaders, and then I started telling you all about how I'm going to make pom-poms out of the twine that didn't come in the kit, but I think that I'm going to have this row here, like this line, and then with the little tiny pom-poms. So I'm going to go look on Pinterest to figure out how to make the pom-poms, and then I'll be back. I can't believe I just did all this talking and you didn't even hear it. Ah, sorry about that. Okay, Scrapbookers, so it's taking kind of 50 years for everything to upload, so I started on the title and some like subtitles. So my sister went to high school in Somerset, Massachusetts, and I went to high school in Bangor, Maine, and so I did cheer, leader, sisters. And then I used this Fancy Pants letter sticker from 2012. But the colors really work, and just a basic gray. And they were actually like just slightly smaller than the Jenny Bolin letters. So it's very, like, they're about the same size, but the Fancy Pants ones were smaller. And so they just fit the space a little bit better. And then I started working on the pom-poms. And my daughter is like, those are some sad looking pom-poms, Mom. Like, I showed her the ones on Pinterest, and so that's one of the, it's a sad looking pom-pom. And there's one, this was I think my first attempt but I really, it's not looking like super cute like they do on Pinterest. So this is what you're supposed to do, is use like a plastic fork and then tie it around, and then you slide your little, looks like a bow, off the fork, and then let me just tie it one more time to make it a little tighter in the middle. And then, and I can remember now making these in elementary school, but we used to make them with yarn, and the yarn would kind of like flare out better than this baker's twine. But I like the fact that the baker's twine is two-toned, and I'm not going to go looking for yarn, so this is what we're going to be working with. And then you just kind of trim them up. I remember like a couple of girls in elementary school really like made a cottage industry of making pom-poms for things. They would like, the mom would make the most perfect looking pom-poms, and then they would like sell them at school, and you could pick which color you wanted, and I don't know. So I'm not super, like, I don't think anybody would be buying my pom-poms in elementary school. They're looking pretty rough there. Let's just make one more so I can just show you what that looks like. And rough or not, this is what I'm going to use on the page, and I'm going to back them with like a gluber sort of a thing. So I think that the ugliness will kind of resolve itself a little bit. So let's just get, this is pink paisley twine, by the way. It was from that like Celebrate line that they had, which was real like party oriented. And I think I won a pack of it. So I think that's why I have it. Okay, so you start and just kind of hold one end down, and then can you see this? Not really. And then you just start like wrapping it around the fork. And I would imagine like the more you wrapped it around, the more you're gonna, the more fluffier it's gonna be. I don't know. But all of my pom-poms are kind of pathetic, so I think I'm just going to stick with that. So then when you have like a bunch of it done, just cut the other end off, and then you can try to kind of make one of the ends go one way and the other end go the other way. So I put the little end in between the tines of the fork. Is that what they're called? Tines? I think they are. And then the other one I want to go down. So then I can tie a knot with them. And then then I'll tie a couple more knots. So here we go. So you want to get that like as tight as possible. Can you see that? Kind of, sort of. I don't have all my lights on, so I think you're getting a lot of shadows. Sorry about that. And then, so I double knotted that, and I'm just going to slide it off the fork, and then I think you saw this before. I'll just tie it one or two more times so that middle part is real tight. I feel like I ought to have an odd number of these, but I think I'm going to end up with 4, and I honestly, I don't think I want to make another one. I feel a little underwhelmed with my own pom-pom making skills. And I really think in the 70s there was even like, you could buy a pom-pom making kit, like, you know, as seen on TV, way before the internet, when you really did have to just buy it on TV and You couldn't find it anywhere else? Like I think probably Suzanne Summers had the Thigh Master out way back then. Okay, this is looking just as pathetic. Oh, so sad. So there we go. Yeah, I don't know what to say or do about that. But this is what I'm thinking, is I'm just not going to worry too much about it, and I'm going to take 2 of these strands, or maybe I'll just take all 4 of them. Oops. Where am I here? Here we are. Okay, so I'm taking all 4 strands. I think that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm trying to do. Again, harder than it looks. Okay. I'm getting a snag over here. I see why. I think I see why. Okay, that's a little better. Maybe. Okay, so I want these to go all the way across, and all 4 of them. So I think what I'm going to do is just tie them all together at the end. So I know they'll start out at the same place. Since I'm having issues here. And then something like this. Oh, and so I'm kind of wondering if I want it to go all the way around the whole thing, or just kind of stop right there. I'm thinking I want it to go all the way on the page, but then this looks kind of cute actually. If I put like a little brad here and here. Let's try that. Because you know, when you're a cheerleader, it was so goofy. Like, well, I guess they still do it. You know, like we had to make signs for the football players and all that sort of thing. And I don't know. Like we would just pay out of our pockets to like buy them candy and stuff like that. And it's like they never bought anything for us. It was very one-sided, you know. Oh well. Okay, so I'm going to do something like this, because that kind of reminds me of cheering and all the goofiness we had to decorate their lockers. Okay, now I need some brads, and I am reaching into my muffin tin. So these are not coming from the kit, they're just kind of random brads here. Just trying to find 2 that are the same color. I almost don't even care what color they are. Here's some brown ones. That will be just fine. Okay, so these are actually going to be doing a real job on this page. They're not just for decoration. They're going to be holding this twine in place. Oops. There we go. Well, they're going to try to hold the twine in place. There we go. I kind of think I wanted that just a little bit further out. And one trick I learned from Doris Sander who's the one that asked me to work with this kit, is that it's very easy to reposition your brad. Like, I think I never really thought of that before. I always thought, well, the hole's in the paper, so I can't move it. But it really, you just don't even notice if you do move it. Oh, where's my tape? So I do this thing with the tape where I put tape over that back of the brad, and I don't see any right offhand, so I'm just going to use, I think, some washi tape on the back there. And really just what I want to do is make it so when I slide that in, it's not going to catch on anything. So it doesn't matter what color it is because it's just on the back. And then here we go with the other side. Here we would like decorate the cafeteria, or I don't know. I guess when we did that, like, they would give us the supplies. But when we decorated the lockers, like, we were all on our own to, you know. And so if your boyfriend was on the football team, then you would decorate his locker, like, oh, so exciting. But then, you know, they would give you a certain amount of football players you had to decorate the lockers for. And, like, maybe some of the other ones you weren't that excited about. So there was definitely some, like, some lockers looked a lot better than other lockers. Like, because if it's your boyfriend, then you, then you know, go to extra special lengths to make it look all super great. But just like some random guy, maybe not so much. Wonder what they thought about that. Alright, so instead of like tying these on, I'm just going to trim these, and then I'm going to do weird things with the gloovers, I think. This just looks atrocious, honestly. Looks about like those lockers we decorated. Some of them were better than others. I wonder if they still do that. I bet you they don't. I don't know. I wonder if they still do. Okay. So one way to do this would be just to evenly space them across the whole page, like something like this. But I think it might be cuter. Oh, that is kind of cute, actually. I was going to say, I thought it might be cuter if I just did them on the sides, because then they'd like be less intrusive into the pictures. So maybe something like this. But let's work with those little gloobers. Boy, I hope it works, because I don't want to make any more pom-poms. I don't know. These are just regular old glue dots. They're not gloobers. I think gloobers were made by Cosmo Cricket, maybe? Okay, so I want them to look more like this. So I'm kind of smushing them. Right, I don't know. I think it'll work. Yes. Pretty good. They're kind of atrocious, aren't they? This one I feel like this one needs two. This one got a little larger. Oops. My daughter was like, "What are you doing?" Like, "I'm making pom-poms." She's like, "Why are you making pom-poms?" Like, "'Cause I used to be a cheerleader." And she was like, "Oh, and you're making a scrapbook page. How original, Mom." Yeah. So it's going to need a fair amount of squishing. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, I'm back, and let's get the rest of these done. There's only 2 more. But so it really works to kind of splay one of the sides out and then smush it. I think it works to do that. Yes. Oh, this one does not look good. Maybe the other one will kind of be the main event over here. My sad little pom-poms. It is fun to try something new though, or try a, you know, a new old thing. But I'm not very good at it. My daughter's like, you should be a cheerleader for Halloween. Yeah, I wish I still looked like I did back in the 80s. Yeah. Oops. Oh, I lost it. I lost my little glue dot. My 2 glue dots. Here we go. Oh. I feel like they're looking worse and worse. Let's just get that on there before before anything else happens. Okay. Yeah, they're not the cutest pom-poms you ever saw. Oh well. Okay, what else does this layout need? Some journaling, how about? Let me go ahead and do that, and then I'll read it to you. I think that it's going to go right down here. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, I'm back, and I think it's just about done. I might think about adding a little bit of the sequins, but otherwise, the journaling says Jenny went to high school in Massachusetts and I went in Maine, so we grew up separately. She lived with Mom and I lived with Dad, but we managed to have some shared experiences like cheering and beauty pageants, so we had some of the same reference points. So there we go. I really wanted to use this squirrel on this layout. This is a little, but I don't think that's, yeah, I don't think that's going to go. But let's see. And can we add football in there one more time? Because I don't think I'm ever going to use that again. No. It's okay if I don't use a couple other things. I really feel like I'm using most of this kit. Yeah, I think that's pretty well done. Let's just see if the sequins work on this. I'm not sure that they do. But it is always good to have a little shine on your layout, so if I can add them, I'm going to. But I'm not sure they're going to work. I need to just move those other embellishments out of the way. Okay. So what are we going to do here? That's too goofy. I think it's probably a no. Let's just see. I don't know, it could be a yes. Let's see. What do we think? It's okay. It's not awesome. I'll leave it. just a little bit. Just some, not a ton. Let's see, can we get any more on there? Maybe some of this. Okay, it's not a lot, but it's a little something. A little something, not a lot. I don't know. I don't know if I like it or not, but it's there, and it's gonna stay, so. The lame pom-pom layout. Okay, that's all. Yeah, it's done. It is done. It's kind of fun. It's mostly, it's not one of my, I don't think it's one of my best layouts. It's okay. I don't know, it's okay. Thanks for watching.